Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to First Cut. This is our awards watch video. We are looking back at 2023, our favorite things that we saw. We wanted to take a look at what we think is going to be an awards contention for the year. I'm here with the crew, back at it again, RB3 and Sabrina. We're here. It's 2024. It's a brand new year. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, it's been a lot of good movies to close out the year. Been a lot of, snooze fests as well. They kind of kicked Aquaman 2 out of theaters really quick. I didn't even get to see it in 3D. But anyway, that's
Did you want to?
I want us in 3D. I like 3D. I like water in 3D. But then but otherwise, mostly fantastic movies throughout the whole Descender winter season.
Yeah, honestly, same. I'm really impressed by this past year and some of the gems that we've gotten. Obviously, theatrically, seeking out some of these films has been a little bit tough. We're very blessed to be in the Los Angeles area or have access to the area. And even then, really, really tough. I had to drive all the way to Century City to see All of Us Strangers, and they had barely any showtimes, small theater. And I feel like some of these releases have been really interesting, but if you can get through all of that, lots of gems, really impressive year.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment because I feel like this is when we needed it the most. It disappeared,
Yeah.
it vanished. It's Avatar, Aang. I'm talking about the ArcLight, of course. ArcLight, man, we need you. We need you, bro.
Yeah.
And you just disappeared for 100 years.
The center of the good movies.
I swear, man, I can't be the only one who is the preacher, the prophet of the ArcLight, where everywhere I go, I'm just like, if you guys only knew there was a time where a theater saved the world. I miss it, man. I miss that ArcLight. And I know that's LA only, but it really did help. At least I felt like it helped.
Yeah, it was like a curator of like everything good showing in town. But I will say we do need the ArcLight, and the ways of watching movies is mad inconvenient. Like I agree with you, Sabrina. The fact that I had to watch because I watched American Fiction twice, but the first time I watched it, I had to drive all the way out to Glendale. No offense, to any of the listeners, but to the all white audience, like basically like to this movie that is about like making performance art for white audiences. I'm like, this is like an extra level of metatextual like happening for this film. But yeah. And then same thing with, people have talked about it on Twitter too, but Ava DuVernay's origins. I know Neon has been putting out like a lot of movies this year, which I highly appreciate. But, they only gave Origins like a 7-day, 1-2 theater kind of release for the award season, and now we got to wait all the way to the end of January to watch it in wide. I'm like, dang, man, I can't. That's the one movie I've been trying to wait for to get the top 10 list down. But otherwise, though, a lot of good variety out there.
Yeah, and honestly, going back to the ArcLight conversation, RB3 and we went a bunch in 2019. We saw like awards contenders in the dome. Like where else can you find something like that? It was definitely a really special time that I hope we can capture again soon. ArcLight, if you're listening, we will pitch in. We'll throw in $5 each.
Yeah.
Open back up.
Make it an actual church, like just donations to the church.
Yeah, I'd be down.
I
Pass
swear,
around the basket mid movie.
Yeah, I swear that our client's already like a church anyways. They have like like this is a sacred place. They have someone come up in the front and say like, hey guys, we all hold each other accountable. Bow your heads and pray.
Yeah, they literally don't even let you in like if you're like a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
to the movie,
like it really is like I can't describe it. I've tried describing it to friends who don't know about it. And I'm just like, I swear, it's church. It's church for movies. That's the best way to describe the ArcLight, and I love it.
Perfect size popcorn, like a small popcorn that's like actually a small, like that you're not like sick by the end of it eating. Good place, man. Good place.
And everyone there is like, we're here to watch a movie. We're not here to mess around or, be disruptive or be an a-hole. It was the best. It was the best of times. It's highly missed. That's all I can say. But either way, we're excited about what's coming up. We're finally getting awards nominations, at least for the Golden Globes. We're going to get more when it comes to SAG and when it comes to obviously the Oscar nominations. But how are you guys feeling so far about what's out in the Ethernet of awards and awards contentions and who is getting attention and who should be getting attention, RB3?
Man, I'm glad seeing, obviously, I love Oppenheimer, and I love Barbie, and I love Poor Things. Like those are a lot of really three of my favorite movies of the year, and probably some that rank up of all time, honestly. So I'm glad seeing those three movies getting a lot of recognition. I hope to see Yorgos Lanthimos continue to get more recognition
Yeah.
throughout the season, because I know it's kind of hard with the crowded directors field that is about to go up this award season. But you know, I really do hope, like, yeah, I would love to see those three directors slash writers all get nominated and awarded for their work in some way, shape, or form. So, and it's kind of tough because they're all three are going to be competing in the best adapted screenplay category. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, it's all the award contenders this year are like actually pretty excellent. There's some that I'm like, oh, what are they doing? Why is May December in the best comedy category at the Golden Globes? Like, it's a little strange. But otherwise, I'm really a fan of like how things are going this season.
Yeah,
How about you, Sabrina?
same. Definitely. I just feel like a lot of the people, even like the Globes, they got it pretty right. I know their whole musical comedy versus like drama type of switch ups with the categories are always a little bit weird. It's funny that you mentioned May December, which yes, it is a melodrama. Yes, it's comedic at times. But I feel like the heart and soul of that film is so dramatic. So I don't know what Todd Haynes was necessarily trying to convey, but I don't know if the Golden Globes got it. But a huge standout for me is definitely Divine Joy Randolph. She was in The Idol, the Sam Levinson show, and she stole every scene. Of course, it was not a great show, but she ate it up. But she's sweeping critic awards. I really, really hope to see not just a nomination for her in a lot of these major award shows, but also some wins. I think she has definitely the standout performance.
How are you guys feeling about TV awards? Because I know we have the Emmys as well. Sabrina.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm worried about are my Succession boys. We have Brian Cox, we have Kieran, Jeremy. They're all in.
Brian Cox is your Succession boy.
He is my Succession boy, 100%. Of course, I am absolutely rooting for Jeremy Strong, but at the same time, Kieran Culkin did so incredible. I feel like he definitely deserves his flowers. And also, I don't know why you're shaking your head at
Because
Jeremy Strong.
it's not even, you can't root for the guy's gonna win. Like there's nothing.
You
It's
think
like
so?
saying you're rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's
I don't know. Though. People are saying Pedro
Jeremy Strong is
Pascal.
like he's the winner, bro.
No.
There's no way Pedro's gonna. No way,
People
bro.
are saying Pedro Pascal for The Last of Us right now. That's what a lot of people are
No
predicting.
way.
Oh my
It's gonna be
God.
Jeremy Strong, and he's just like running a 90-yard touchdown. Like it's
You don't
so
think
easy.
Kieran can come through?
No,
Really?
I think he's 100% the face of the show, the most dominant performance. Like, it's 100% going to be him. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. He killed it. I'm just saying it's like such an obvious. I don't know. I think it's an obvious winner.
Y'all don't think that's gonna split the vote? Y'all don't think that's gonna split the vote at
That's
all?
what I was gonna say.
No.
Like it's all three. Like these three people in one category is a lot, dog. Like that's a
That's
lot.
insane.
That I've never like for even best supporting actor that happens a
But
lot.
if you
but-
watch the show, I really do feel like you cannot not give it to Jeremy Strong. I just feel like he's
Kieran Culkin.
the standout.
Funeral,
He's good, but he's not as.
funeral
not-
episode. He came through.
He's
I
not
think
Kendall.
that's going to be the episode that I feel like a lot of people even turned when it aired. People were talking about how Kieran Culkin's also going for Best Actor instead of supporting. And so I don't know, between the two of them, because like Brian Cox is incredible, but obviously, spoiler, left the show very early. And then Kieran and Jeremy, and of course, Sarah Snook and everybody else, like they were all carrying the weight of the rest of the season and showing that in their performances. So yeah, it's between the two. I'm nervous about the split vote. If it goes to Kieran or Jeremy, I'm happy, but I'm kind of low-key rooting for Jeremy the most.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that RB3? Just TV in general and awards.
TV in general. Well, for one, speaking on TV. Speaking on before you're speaking on Divine Joy Randolph, who I am a big fan of, and I do think she is wonderful as well. I also love The Holdovers. Like that's also one of my top 10 movies of the year. And her performance is good. I just thought, man, her character was just not it for me. Like as her role in the movie, it just felt very like tokenist. You know what I mean? Like so, I love seeing her win the awards, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of like, I don't know. There's a little bit of like a not like. I mean, she's great.
She
Let me
had me
just like.
crying. I don't know
Yeah,
what you're.
her performance is great. Like, I just don't like the fact that her character just didn't have that much agency. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a little bit like they only had like one note to like put her in. Like, I felt like, but again, that's just me. And like again, I love the holdovers, but that was just the one part of the movie I'm like, this feels very like it's set in the 70s and it feels like very 1970s, like in that sense. But like that's not to say like I do think she's great in winning these awards, and I think like she's also I think the best supporting actress category this year at the Oscars. I mean, we're gonna talk about it like as we go down the line, but there's gonna be packed full of like amazing women performances, especially Black women performances. I mean, we could talk about the whole cast of The Color Purple probably going up there, and The Color Purple making the big splash that it makes at the Golden Globes, also a big splash that makes at the box office. I'm very curious to see how that's going to go, especially for people like Danielle Brooks and Fantasia and yeah. Well, I think those two are mainly like the two biggest ones, I feel like. But yeah, and then regarding TV, I'm very much rooting for The Bear to win a lot of awards this year, because I love The Bear and I love Ayo Broly. I feel like she's definitely going to win the Emmy and Golden Globe, and she definitely like deserves to, because she's been all over movies, TV, just killing it, rocking it, and they got to award her for that. And I think that's like going to be super, super amazing to see that. And I also think Jeremy Allen White, they also like want to give some sort of love for like that and the Iron Claw. Like, I don't know how he got so ripped for that. We're going to talk about that movie in a second, but like he just got ripped overnight. I'm like, Jesus. So they got to give him some sort of recognition for that too. So I very much would like to see The Bear win a lot of a lot of the comedy categories. And then yeah, for Succession, I do think like Succession is going to win everything. I do think especially Sarah Slick is going to win. I think it's going to win like the screenplay award and the best director awards and stuff like that. But yeah, for the best actor thing, the split makes it so hard for me. So I do think it's going to be a surprise of like Pedro Pascal or like somebody else just like slides in, because it's just like that split up. But that's my overview of those categories right there.
Yeah, I agree with you on a lot of that. And also kind of going back to what you were talking about with The Color Purple box office and how that affects awards. It's kind of interesting to look at even this year, because I feel like a lot of films underperformed. And so I haven't kept up with The Color Purple necessarily, but even when we're talking about these limited releases or how hard it is for it to come into the cultural conversation with some of these films, I think Barbie is definitely going to be hitting a lot of the notes, just because it's kind of like that Top Gun effect. And
Oh yeah.
also it one-ups Top Gun in the way of like Greta Gerwig is already an awards darling, whereas necessarily like Top Gun Maverick was kind of Tom Cruise's film, versus Barbie is a little bit of everyone's film. We have Ryan, Margot, and Greta, and it's the three of them really spearheading this. They're fan favorites. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see how many awards it actually ends up winning, and what it is nominated for. Because I know for the Globes for original song, we have a bunch of Barbie. We have 3 Barbie songs in that category. We have Dance the Night, I'm Just Ken, and What Was I Made For?
Yeah,
That's too much, man. Come on. Like, there's other songs out there, y'all.
I could see I'm Just Ken, and
I
maybe
like
the Billie Eilish song, maybe just because they
But Dance the Night Away?
Oh, it's a bop. It really is.
No, it's a bop.
It is,
No,
but
it's addictive. I still sing it in my head.
Here, I got a lot of hot takes on this, y'all. I really do. I love Barbie. I thought Barbie was great, but I think we're slightly like overdoing it just a little bit, just being like giving it all the awards already. And I'm just like, Margot Robbie, Best Actor, Ryan Gosling, Best, and I'm just like, whoa, like there's other performances out there. There's other movies. I just don't. I thought it was a fun movie. I didn't necessarily think it was the best movie of the year and that it should win all the awards. I think we should slow down with that.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to get a lot of nominations, kind of like how Top Gun did. It was definitely sprinkled in a lot of those outside categories too. But I definitely think other films are going to end up taking the win from them. And also, I just have to talk about this because now that I have this list in front of me right now, Best Original Song, besides Barbie, there's Road to Freedom from Rustin by Lenny
Yeah.
Kravitz.
Good one. I like that.
Peaches, Addicted to Romance, Bruce Springsteen. I just feel like, again, it's about that cultural conversation with a lot of these songs. Dance the Night was all over the radio. I'm Just Ken was memed out. They even did the like re-release EP.
Mhm,
And then What Was I Made For? Billie Eilish. I know that one charted as well. And
mhm.
people think she might win the Oscar for it.
She
So,
already did win for
well, she has won.
Bond. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be another one for her only a few years later and really early into her career as well. So yeah, it's definitely just really interesting to see how Barbie has dominated some of these categories.
I will say I do think it's warranted. Like I do think
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think to me it's like I do think it should get a lot of nominations. I think particularly at the Golden Globes, like since they do split it up by comedy versus drama, like yeah, definitely
Yeah.
give Margot Robbie. I mean, so Emma Stone for Poor Things, that is that in the comedy category or
Yeah.
is that so that's also that's the one thing that's like I kind of want to give that to Emma Stone just a little bit because like Emma Stone rocked that
yeah.
performance. But then like everything else, like like Best Picture comedy, yeah, to me it's the best like comedy of the year. Like maybe Poor Things is like better made, but I laughed in Barbie like tremendously. Like even on
Yeah.
rewatching it on HBO Max, like I still like, and they put Greta Gerwig's commentary on there too. So I don't know. I feel like it like people, film Twitter is very easy to glob on something that's like popular. But like when you really watch the details in that movie, like the production design is next level. The references that they're making to past cinema, 1960s,
The Godfather?
movies. Yeah, well, no, not just Godfather. I'm talking about like the actual
No, the way
filmic
she said
references.
it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Godfather?
He's sorry.
Yeah,
The
that was-
Godfather?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just so. It's to me, it is brilliant.
It's a funny
I do
movie.
think-
I think it's great. I really do. But I do feel like at the end of the day, if someone tells me like, is this gonna win Best Picture? I'm just like, I kind of hope not, because
No, it's not.
No, it's not
it's a
gonna win.
fun comedic movie. I just feel like it's more fun than it is, I don't know,
Yeah.
something
Well, you know what it is
life-changing.
gonna win?
Yeah.
It's gonna win cinematic and box office achievement at the Golden Globes because they
Oh,
have that
yeah.
category.
That
And
category's
there's
awesome.
no
I love that
competition.
category.
So
No,
that's what Barbie is going to win. And as much as I love Barbie, yes, I absolutely don't think it deserves to necessarily win these. I like the recognition of it as a whole, but yeah, Margot was incredible, but there are a lot of performances I would put above hers just in terms of like scope of the film. And yeah, honestly, it goes back to our conversation. There was just so many great releases this year that I feel like it's really hard to compare it because
Yeah.
you guys know from our review of Barbie, we loved it. Love Margot, love Ryan Gosling, but it's really hard to put them side by side with some of these other performances and
It is.
not go with some of the others.
Oh yeah, I mean they definitely. I mean Ryan Gosling though, y'all think he's gonna win Best Supporting Actor? Like
I hope not.
all
You,
across the
you
board.
think so?
I mean, I feel like
I don't think
know.
so.
I don't know. I mean, there's a good chance. I mean, but they might give it to me. It's either they give him Best Supporting Actor or they give I'm Just Kim like an Oscar or something like that.
It's gonna be I'm Just Ken.
I would.
I think it deserves it, to be honest. I think I'm Just Ken is probably the best part of that movie for me. And
Because you saw
then
yourself. You're just like you're Ken. You're enough.
You can
no, I swear, I love watching that movie without hearing anything, and then just that scene comes on, and I think I told you guys, I was just like, yo, this is a bop, this is dope.
It really is.
And then they started battling on the beach. I was like, this is epic. I loved it. But when it comes to Ryan Gosling, I just feel like there's so many other performances there that should get more attention. I mentioned on Twitter real quick, Homie from Past Lives. That to me is like
phenomenal.
what underrated ass performance, because to me he should be getting more attention for doing what he did. It's such a quiet, subtle, strong, powerful performance from Teo Yu, and that's something that I would recognize over a lot of the names that I'm hearing right now.
Absolutely. I mean, even just all three performances in Past Lives, including like
Yeah.
Greta Lee and I think his name is John Magaro or
Yeah.
Magaro.
The husband, yeah.
Yeah, all of them were absolutely incredible. So it's really hard to compare such different performances, such
Yeah.
unique ones. But yeah,
Mark
it's gonna be very
Ruffalo and Poor
interesting.
Things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
also
it's
fun.
a homie
12
from
Melton,
the
May
Filipino
December.
homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He was amazing too. And then of course Robert Downey Jr. Like people are like,
Oh my
aping for
God.
that to win too.
Yeah. I took a beta blocker, so this is going to be a breeze.
And also De Niro Killers. I feel like the Robert Downey Jr. and Robert De Niro Oppenheimer Killers of the Flower Moon conversation, it's definitely lower than a lot of these, but it's there and they could sneak it. They're beloved.
Yeah, we'll get to the Oscar nominations because I
Yeah.
feel like we're gonna see these names and we'll have some conversations about it. But any closing thoughts as far as what you guys want to see out of these award shows or award nominations?
Oh, for best limited series at the Emmys, I know, like, man, you know, it's kind of unpopular to like say this, or you know, it's a little controversial, but Beef was phenomenal, and I kind of do want to see that win. Like, despite, you know, the whole one dude being in it who's like a total a-hole, like he is the villain, and he does, you know, spoiler alert, some bad does happen to him, so like I feel a little bit self-justified, like, okay, like at least I'm rooting against this guy anyway. Like,
Can I push back a tiny bit? I don't think it was him necessarily. I think it's the cast defending him. I think that's what really kind of put the nail in the coffin. Because if they would have just thrown him under the bus and been like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, I think a lot of people would have been easily giving them more awards. But the fact that the entire cast went to bat for this dude was kind of off-putting, to be honest. That just, on my perspective, it was off-putting to me. Yeah, I just had to push back a little bit on that, just because I feel like if the cast was like, yeah, what he did was messed up, he shouldn't. They were just like, no, this guy's the best. He's awesome. And I was just like, oh, just let it go, man. Just let him go. I swear.
yeah.
It's definitely really tricky because it's also like how many people that are voting in these awards bodies even care about stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't even think it hurts it in any way. Yeah. But I think overall, something that I want to see, I know Celine's song was nominated for Best Director at the Golden Globes. I definitely want to see more Celine Song just everywhere, whether that be screenplay, director, just all of the above. Same thing we were talking about with Past Lives. Every single person that touched that film did such a phenomenal job. So I just want to see all of them in every category in any award show this whole season.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, even though I know I said I want the Bear to win a lot of awards, particularly Ayo and Broly and Jeremy Allen White, I still room for my show Abbott Elementary to like take home the big Best Comedy prize, because I love that show, and it's like it deserves to win it, because I feel like it's been at the cornerstone of like the cultural conversation for a minute. And I love Ted Lasso, but that last season kind of went out with a whimper instead of a bang. So you know, that's where I stand on that.
Good deal. Alrighty, guys, those were our thoughts on Awards Watch 2024. We're excited for what this award season is going to bring. We're excited to see who the winners will be. But either way, let us know in the comments down below, what is your thoughts on this award season? Who do you want to see in the categories? Who do you want to see win? Let us know all that good stuff in the comments down below. You can find me at Squad Leader Ace, RB3.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3.
Sabrina.
Follow me at Sabrina X Monica on Instagram and at Sabrina on Film on Twitter and TikTok.
Either way, guys, for the first cut crew, we're going to be peacing out. So peace, deuces.
Remain. It's either me or you. Take you out the equation.